Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me Zug, and today we are just updating the Psyker and we're going for a Voidstrike build that actually works. So, how does it work? Well, I'll show you. So, we're switching out some weapons. We're now using the Mark IV dueling sword with maniac damage and crit. And for your blessings you want shred and uncanny strikes, or you can switch out shred for any crit building blessing that you've got. I just prefer shred because it's just easier to build the stacks while you're cleaving through. You don't have to do anything, it's just there as you start attacking. Whereas some of the others require you to like dodge to get the buff or do something else. And for the staff itself, we are going for damage to infested enemies, as this gives you a massive range of what it adds damage to and increased crit chance. And for the blessings, we're going for Warp Nexus for increased crit chance based on your current levels of perils, and Surge for the 2 shots on critical hit. This build is going for massive amounts of crit to proc those 2 shots. So it's going to be a lot slower to charge than the other builds have been, but this is pretty much the only way I've seen the Voidstrike actually still work and work well. So as you can see on this, I've got damage as my slight dump stat on this. It's just kind of how it rolled, but it's all right this way. You know, I would prefer the charge rate to be a little bit higher, but everything else pretty decent. As for the Curios, we've gone for health with ability regeneration, damage resistant gunners, and toughness. Health again with max health, combat ability regeneration, and damage resistant gunners. And a +1 wound, toughness, damage ability regeneration, and damage resistant snipers. You can use really any combination of what you want on this. I've gone for the damage reduction for the gunners and the snipers because this is what's going to stop you getting absolutely wrecked on damnation and or difficulties, as these are things that are likely to take you out in one hit. As for the talents, as you can see, we are missing out on quite a bit of toughness here, and you may notice we haven't gone for metal or perfect timing. These don't actually add anything to our crit chances, which is what we're trying to buff, so we're just not taking them. But we are going for warp expenditure and battle meditation. We're going down into brain rupture and kinetic flare, as this is what is going to fill in the gaps when we don't crit. And we come down here for psykinetics aura for decreasing the cooldown on our ability, and the ability is going to be telekinetic shield. This is going to be filling in for the lack of toughness we have. So this is very much a glass cannon build. We're taking prescience for the crit chance, empathic evasion, just to keep us alive a little bit longer against those gunners. And we're coming down here to get the crit chance, kinetic deflection, and into true aim. Landing 5 weak spot hits grants your next range a guaranteed critical. This is very important because we want those guaranteed crits. Taking Warp Ride obviously for more damage, and then the same as we usually do down here. Puppet Master into Solidarity, Warp Siphon. We are taking Essence Harvest now because we are missing out on a lot of toughness talents in the top of the tree. Into Empyrean Empowerment, Psychic Vampire, and Warp Battery. This build does require you to be very, very quick on your feet, and that's partly why we're taking Dueling Sword, because it gives us a far higher dodge range than the 4 swords do. And also they've got a really nice buff recently, so they're very, very powerful, and they allow us to deal with and maulers quite happily. Heavy attack to the face, especially with a special attack as well. As you can see, deals with them pretty quickly. This is on damnation difficulty, so they've all got their damnation level resistances. So if you have to, you can absolutely shred crushers. But hopefully they won't ever get this close to you, because that would be bad. As for the staff, as you can see, it does charge quite slowly, but it does wreck the hell out of everything again. Just keep in mind the projectile does fly a lot slower than it used to, so you have to lead your shots a lot more than you did. And obviously the shield is what's going to try and keep us alive a bit more. This build does struggle with monstrosities a little bit. But it also tends to eat things quite nicely. Especially if you can land those weak spot hits. This is the first time since the hotfix with patch 14 that the Voidstrike staff hasn't felt really awful. So again, this is how it's being built. Oh, I do apologise, I've just finished live streaming. But also, if you do want to see some gameplay of this being used, do check out the live stream from today. And it's today's date or whenever this video is being published, if you're watching this in the future. The last half an hour of the live stream is gameplay of this build being tested out and tweaked. So I hope you enjoy it, folks. And, you know, it's the Voidstrike build. It's kind of okay. You know, I like it. And I hope you do too. And if you do, please like, subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And until the next one, take it easy, and I will see you later.